Hey guys, welcome back to Cypress Steel Forge. So if you saw the last video, I said I was going to do a thing, and I'm not. What a shock. Life has a funny way of doing things, but this week, or this 2 weeks or whatever, we're trying to get back into some sort of rhythm. It's a little difficult, school, work, all that, but we're trying. But we have had an order for something I've only done once before, and it's really cool. On my Etsy shop, I call it the Nachttanzer, which is German. Sorry for the pronunciation, any German people listening. Nikki, sorry. But what it means is night dancer. And what it was a almost a short sword, but with a basic Kukri design. So it's a very long, slimline Kukri fighting sword. And one of the, among the things that really made it stand out and made it kind of my design was it had a handlebar, mustache, pommel, and handguard with an hourglass, you know, the almost traditional hourglass Kukri handle shape. But it was a full tang and, you know, with scales. And then, you know, the extra long blade, which was very narrow at the, towards the base, towards the ricasso, but it was thick, and then widened to a, you know, a much wider head that was a lot thinner for slicing and whatnot. So, anyways, yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing this time around. It takes a good bit to do this one. The overall dimensions of it, again, it's going to be a 12 to 14 inch blade. And then, the guy wants a large handle, so we'll be looking in the 4.5 to 5 inch range. A little bit bigger than my hand. My hand's about a medium. So what I usually do is, for large, is go an inch or so bigger than my hand, and that's usually pretty solid. Yeah, we're just gonna jump right into this one. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We've got a few other things due out. I'm gonna be I'll probably make a couple of short videos on them. I've got a really fun little twist on another Celtic ring knife. But the guy would like a recurve blade, so I'll probably highlight that in a short video. It'll be really cool. But yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Haven't made a lot of short swords, so let's get it. So as you can see, you know, step one is always trying to find the right piece of steel. Kind of running low on some of the other things I've got. Got some leaf springs here. You know what? I believe this here leaf spring, not this one that's cut, but this one here, but right below it is going to do the trick. I believe that'll be long enough, and you know, leaf springs tend to be 5160 spring steel. So we're just gonna open that up, and that's gonna give us our steel. Alright, so we used the bottom one for the length of it, and the next to the bottom one had a cut in it for me cutting off some of the other pieces, and I didn't want to take chances with the structural integrity, so I went ahead and cut it in half so that cuts on a problem. I'll use it for other projects. Now this thing is, it's measured out. This will be the handle end of it, so that's roughly 4 inches where that line's at, and I'll work the handle from there. And it's about, I think, about 11.5 to 12 inches right now from the handle. Yeah, it's right at 12 inches, so it ended up being a little bit longer. Now it has this hole in it from, you know, being a leaf spring. And there's a couple things you can do about that, but what I find the best for me is to treat it like an intentional hole or a fuller. By intentionally putting it towards the front up here in the blade, I can use that already in their hole to, you know, manage the weight of the blade, you know, like a fuller would. So It doesn't affect the structural integrity at all, and it becomes a useful feature. Hey guys, yeah, so time got away from me. A whole lot of stuff was going on, and I just had to put the sword off for another week. It is a customer stuff, so I'm kind of in a rush, but it's not due out just yet. But we're working on it hard now. What I've done so far, and I'll show y'all in just a minute, is I've gone ahead and drawn out the handle, and then I used the angle iron. I can't talk today, can't even think. I used the angle grinder to cut in off of the blade where the integral guards are going to be. So I'm already starting to draw those out and shape them, get them away from the blade so I can draw the blade out more. And I'll show you all that in just a minute. Alright, like I was just describing, you can see, and let me get the hammer to point here, this is part of the guard, and this is going to be part of the guard. And you can see where I'm starting to stretch the blade out a little bit, thin it down. And that'll just make the blade longer, and you know, and then I'll widen out the end for the kukri. And you can see where the handle's going, and this will be the rear pommel guard. You can see I haven't opened that up yet. Alright, hour or so later, as you can see, we've got the shape started here. We obviously got the head here. It's got a lot of grinding to do. The biggest thing is we've got that handle, we've got the guard. Of course, I curved the back part of the guard so it doesn't stick into the wrist. I pulled the front of the rear guard up forward so the hand won't slide into it and get poked. And this part of the guard functions more like what you'd see on a falchion, or is that a falcata? You know what? I'm not sure. But either way, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to anneal it, and then we'll get to grinding. That's going to be a lot of grinding, but it's going to look really awesome. Well, it's been quite the day, guys. Let's have a look at what we got. So, what I've done is I let it cool down, and then I took it to the vise and attacked it with the angle grinder. And all I've done is just thin down the metal, really just a lot of the rough grinding. You see I haven't done the bevels yet. We've got some work, as it turns out, as you're holding it, this little piece here at the end of the handle kind of digs into your hand. So I'm going to scroll that on around to prevent that from happening. This piece here, I'm actually going to bring backwards a bit, and what I want to do is open up this opening and then round it out, because what I don't want is a stress riser when it comes time to quench. So this will go back in the heat. I'll make a couple of changes, and then that's going to be it for today. It's been a very long day, but we got a lot done. So yeah, we'll keep going at this tomorrow. Oh, and yeah, I'm going to bend the blade just a little bit more to match like the proper kukri shape. I may trim this down to more of a clip point. I'm not sure. Hey guys, so we had a big day yesterday getting this thing going, and I thought before I started in on the grinding here in the shop, I'd just kind of run you through, you know, what's all been done here. So we've got the rough forging done. I mean, it looks rough. Basically what we did yesterday with the angle grinder was just to take a grinding bit, not a cutting bit, and just get a lot of that excess weight off, get the thickness down to at least manageable. Obviously we're not anywhere near done rough grinding, but we got it down to a manageable weight, so we're moving along. We've got the head kind of shaped out. We're going to profile that a little bit more. There's a lot of work here on the grinder to do. We've of course got the little handlebar mustache here for the pommel. Keeps the hands from sliding back and it doesn't poke into you. Got a forward guard and a rear guard, so you know it protects both sides of the hand. And yeah, I say the weight's almost there. So once we get the bubbles in, it should be about right. Yeah, we'll of course contour the handle a little better. It'll be brought in like a little bow tie a little more. But yeah, overall we're making good progress. So we're just gonna keep right on doing. It's gonna be a long day on the grinder today. All right, guys. So another quick little update. So we got a lot of the grinding done. Handles a lot smoother now. Doesn't catch you. A lot of that weight's off. It feels pretty good in the hand now. Probably going to do a little bit of a fuller. I think what I'll do is take it over to the drill press. I have some milling bits, and see if I can't do a little bit more precision than I normally do, but we'll see. I might actually just put it on the grinder and just do a little bit right here in this nice real thick part and get a little bit more weight down. But I mean, it's not bad. The balance point's roughly there now, and for a Kukri, that's pretty decent. And of course, we'll be adding weight back to the handle, in the form of scales. Let's talk on that for a second. So the young man who ordered it was not real particular. He likes the idea of some wood, but beyond that, the only thing he asks is not walnut. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what I'm going to use just yet. I was kind of eyeballing some hickory that I've got laying around. Either hickory or maybe some crepe myrtle or oak. I think I like the idea of a lighter wood on here, but we'll see. I haven't really figured it out as yet. Alright guys, so we're back from lunch. I already did a little bit of work. I cut down a couple of blocks of some really nice hickory and already drilled them out to fit on there. Hickory is a really dense, really strong wood. So if this guy wants to do some serious chopping with this thing, hickory will hold up to it. So we're going to do the last little thing. So I'm pretty happy with the bevels. I'm going to bring these ones up just a little more, a little wider. In fact, yeah, I believe I will. But what I'm going to do right now is put in just a short fuller from about here to here, just to get the weight down, just a little of that forward weight down, just a little bit more, kind of balance it out a little better. I said the balance is not terrible. It's sitting about there right now, which is at about 3-4 inches in front of the guard, which for a Kukri is not terrible because it is always going to be a front heavy blade. But we're going to bring that weight down just a little bit more, and we'll be ready for heat treat. Okay, well, so we widen those bevels, and as you can see, we've got a fuller here. Alright, so a couple of tough days, but this thing is looking good. See, it came out of the oil in one piece, and let me go grab the file here. As you can hear, that is beautiful. Now, I always temper them as soon as they come out of the oil. Just go ahead and put them back in front of the forge, and well, you can kind of see here where the obviously I ain't gonna touch that, but the golden part comes in, and that's where I have put it back up against the forge and let the heat temper it a little bit so it'll still be strong. Alright guys, welcome to the fourth and final day of this Kukri build. So North Carolina weather, you gotta love it. Yesterday, even though it was early February, was a balmy almost 80 degrees. It was actually quite warm. Today, I think the high is supposed to be like 50. It's very chilly out here right now. Either way, we're going to keep on going. So, we're at the last part of it. We got the heat treat done. It came out real nice. So now all we got is we got to put these shape these pins a little bit, and then we've got our handle scales, some nice hickory, and we're gonna do the glue up, pin it, let that set for a while. So once we're done with getting the handle on there, then it'll be time to sharpen it up, and then we'll take it out and have a little fun with it. Because frankly, I don't want to send this thing out without testing it. I'm pretty confident in the heat treat. I'm pretty confident in the temper, but no such thing as too sure, right? Alright guys, so it's time to about be done with this thing. Actually, as I say that, I realized I didn't have the last little thing I needed, which is paper towel to apply some beeswax. Now, once I got the hickory on there, I gave it a couple of coats. Just really let the linseed oil suck it in, because hickory wood can be really dry, especially if you're buying the stuff that's intended for firewood. So you really want to soak that oil in there real good. Couple of coats, and I gave it 2 real good drenchings. Let that stuff soak in, and then you want to seal it up with the beeswax so it can't dry out again. Now before I did that, I had sanded it down to 220 grit, and then I took it out and charred it. And the results, I mean, I think speak for themselves. I love the way that looks. That charred hickory is just some beautiful stuff. It really makes the whole grain pop. Best part is, it's real comfortable in the hand. Like I said, the handle's a little bit big for me. My hand slides, but this guy said he had an extra large hand, so I want to make sure it fits him, not me. Just finished sharpening this, and let me tell you, yeah, it's look at that. Just run the paper down it and just slice it. Man, I'm gonna take it out and have a little bit of fun with it. You know, for the sake of testing it. All right, we got this here contraption. Supposed to hang around my neck and give y'all a first-person view. I'm hoping this works. I genuinely don't know what y'all can see, but that just, look at, that is just a clean cut. There's just nothing there anymore. So let's take it over here and we grab, this old beat up piece of oak I got sitting around, and we'll give it a couple of good test whacks. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't expect that. Alright, let's have a look at, just nothing. There's nothing but bark on there. No damage. Now you can see, obviously it broke from but this part here got cut. So, yeah, I mean, it was cutting into it. It just, apparently that was more rotted than I thought it was. It broke. Alright, guys, well, that's going to do it for us this time around. Obviously, it ain't every day I get to make something that is basically a short sword. At this point, this is essentially a short sword. God, this sounds fun. I gotta make me one. I don't have one of these. I need to fix that problem. Yeah, that was really cool. I on the off chance it doesn't show, it really broke that log. And it's a little bit of a dull spot right there, but I will touch it up. But that ain't where I was chopping, so I probably just missed that earlier. I never claimed to be perfect, but I want to thank all y'all again for tolerating how long it's been between videos and stuff, and everybody that supported, man. Y'all mean the world, and I appreciate y'all. And y'all take care. Bye,